Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm USC fan Michael Muta. I'm here with Notre Dame football expert Greg Famong. Greg, how you doing?
I'm good, my friend. We just need to get right into it. Why
We
why
do.
are we why are we recording on Wednesday night, Michael?
Well, because on Saturday, Greg and I actually watched a football game together, a Notre Dame football game together.
Well,
But
sort of. Sort of.
yeah, so we sort of watched it. The
Yeah.
reason we were together is for my nuptials. I'm taken now.
We had a podcast wedding.
We did.
It
Greg was one of
was
my groomsmen,
I was
and along with friend of the pod, Tim Norcus.
Tim Norcus. Um a delightful experience.
Thank you. Thank you.
A delightful experience. It was very beautiful. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe 'cause so for everyone, we're gonna get into this wedding a little bit. Okay, because there was there were some things in it that I've never experienced at a wedding before. There was a Ferris wheel, which you just don't count on that
You
at
don't?
a wedding. You
You,
and it's a nice touch. I didn't partake in the Ferris wheel. Um, Amy was not about that. My wife
uh,
was like, I don't know who put that together. We're not going on that thing. We have children. But as like just an ambiance, like kind of a thing happening on the side there, it played.
it
I
really tied the
enjoyed
room together.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, just having it there. So, however much effort it took, or however much money it took to get it down there, it was uh it was a great thing. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. It uh it was a showstopper. Everybody loved it.
It was definitely a talking piece. So you got married at what were the Mulholland Canyon?
So
What is it?
Topanga Canyon,
Topanga Canyon. Um,
the valley side.
yeah. I mean, getting up this hill that we could call a hill, a mountain. It was a little treacherous, Michael. For
Greg,
some
how did,
people,
how did you get up the hill?
for someone who has two, we took a Humvee. And I'm not talking about like one of these Hummers that you see on the freeway. I'm
Like an
talking
H2 stretch limo or something.
not an H2, Michael. This was a legitimate army vehicle. I mean,
Some surplus.
it was, and I have to admit, I was a little concerned for not so much for me, but my wife going up in the ATV on this thing.
So
Yeah.
the rest of the guests were ferried to the ceremony site in ATVs along a steep and narrow dirt road.
And there were like 7 roads.
Yeah.
That was the thing. She was asking me what kind of road is it? And I said, well, the road we took, but I don't know which road you're taking. So, like, I couldn't even really tell her because there were so many different paths up. Um, but once you get up to the top, I mean, it was breathtaking, Michael.
It, it was.
We're
It was a great
overlooking
view.
Los
Clear day.
Angeles. I mean, it's one of those things. Do you risk death and impalement to take on, the view? And I think you do, Mike.
I think we made the right call.
I think you have to do it. And in the off chance that no one is seriously injured, it makes it all worth it. And it was. It was.
Well, I'm glad you could be there to share.
Yes. What was your takeaway? What
It
what
went.
what were you pleased with everything? Were you, was there anything you thought, oh, this didn't go right, or how did you experience it?
It went better than expected. It went. I think it topped out. It went as good as it could have gone. I mean, there's a couple of nitpicky things that anyone who's ever like thrown a big party or a wedding
Right.
probably you would notice, but other people don't. But no, exceeded expectations. Compliments from everyone. Uh, Only rave reviews. Just a little shocked actually that it went so
Okay.
well.
Okay. Um,
I think the
just
ATV to Ferris wheel combo really just set the tone for a fun night.
it did it tied the room together, Michael.
Yeah.
So if it rained, so you were talking like we talked before the pod last week that if it rained, you were really worried about the rain, and I was like, rain, and I know then going to the site, it's like, oh yeah, if it rains, like what was it just going to be ruined? Like what were you
Yeah,
guys going to
pretty
do?
much. We would have got married under a tent, and who knows what would have happened.
Would it have been on the hill? Like I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you could
You,
ferry people
we
up
couldn't have got
the
no one
muddy
could have gotten
hill.
up there, right?
No, yeah, I doubt it.
Oh man. Well, I mean, you definitely lucked out in that regard. And
Ah,
one last thing we're going to touch on before we
okay.
move on to the games. The wood fire pizza. I mean, I can't give it high enough marks for that. I mean, just unbelievable. So what did you hired these people to bring in a wood fire grill, right?
hmm
And these
I'm not gonna lie. I had it at another wedding before.
did you?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Never heard of it. Never had pizza at a wedding. I've been to a few weddings in my day. They bring in the wood fire grill. They're flipping the pizza up in the air with the dough and the fresh toppings. It was phenomenal. I mean, the dough was nice and crispy and fresh. The ingredients were fresh. It was nice and just, it had that good crunch. And it had, I mean, I feel like I'm, triple
Well,
D
to
here.
be
Life
perfectly
ready.
honest, I barely had any, so
Oh,
I
that's so
need to hear
unfortunate.
this.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it was decadent, Michael. It was decadent. It was delicious. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Didn't have one appetizer.
Oh, oh.
Didn't even know where they were.
How is that even possible, Michael?
I think
You were busy doing stuff.
yeah. We were you were out there. Friend of the pod, Tim Norcus, I saw definitely found the appetizers
Oh yeah,
in the bar before
he
I did.
did. He did. He
So
did.
kudos to him.
He was not my friend, Michael.
Oh, he was riding you all night long.
He was making fun of me. He made fun of me because I was short. Except I'm
Uncalled
I'm
for.
5'10".
Yeah,
I'm 5'10", Michael.
you're not a short guy.
I'm not short. That
I've
is
never
not.
thought he was short.
No, he's not my friend. I was gonna have him on the pod, but then I decided no.
Not anymore.
You hurt my feelings. So kudos to you.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much. Thank you for being a part of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about some games.
So let's lean in deep on Notre Dame because I'm full disclosure. I barely watched USC highlights. I've been busy this weekend. I will say a running joke of the night was Pac-12 after dark. Like, what time does it start? And what was really funny was I didn't know USC tried to blow their lead in the second half because everyone's phones were dead and cell service was spotty.
Yeah, oh no, I
So,
couldn't use mine at all.
so Pac-12 after dark really saved the tail end of my wedding there because I would have been going off about them trying to blow the lead, except everyone's phones are dead by 11 o'clock, so so it worked out.
Yeah. So when I went to get the stuff out of the room, because we had a nice setup. We had a nice setup, Michael. You did me right. We had a TV in the pool house. So I was able to check in. The last time when I went to get my stuff, the last score I saw was 28-6.
Yeah, that was the last one I heard too.
Yeah. So I just figured rump. So we drive up. I drive out of this canyon, which I did not think. That was very worried about that, Michael. Let me tell you, it was bugging me all night. Like I'm gonna have to drive out of this canyon in my Honda Accord.
Yeah, they put you
Uh,
in a treacherous spot.
it was not good. It was not good. I did not enjoy 1 second of it. So we get out, and then I get home eventually, and I'm checking my phone before bed, and I'm like, and people are freaking out on Twitter, because I'm scrolling. I try to catch up on the news. I don't go to the top right away, and people are freaking out. And then I figure out USC eventually hung on, but yeah, I didn't. I also was not able to catch too much of the USC game.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like par for the course. Actually, it didn't. because Ronald Jones got to carry the ball like 25, 27 times, something
He
like that.
did.
So that was great. That's 2 games in a row, I think, where he's at over like 150 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So in any game where he gets a lot of touches and a lot of yards, USC is going to win, which is
And you
nice.
know what Notre Dame, we owe a debt of gratitude to you guys because they are now 11th in the college football
They are.
playoff. It's fantastic. It's just perfect. Notre Dame's got a 35-point win over the 11th ranked team after they lost to them.
I mean,
Um,
I told you yesterday when I was in the plane, I'm talking myself into SC climbing the charts by the end of the season. I honestly, I think they'll be a top 5 team at the end of the year, and there will be USC fans. I don't know if I'm one of them. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to shake out, but I guarantee you there will be USC fans who think that the Trojans deserve to be in the national
are
title,
you
the college
saying
football playoff.
are you
I
saying
don't know
after bowl games or
after the Pac-12 title game on that Sunday on Bowl Selection Sunday or whatever it's called now.
uh
I guarantee you there is going to be a a swath of USC fans. I don't know if it'll be a majority. I don't want to go that far, but there'll be a lot of them. There'll be a concentrated number who will think come that December Sunday that USC will deserve to be in the college football playoff. Now I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to stand right now. I'm not ready to make that claim. I'm just saying I think this season's going to break really well for the 2 lost Trojans.
well, you're probably right in
Yeah,
that people are going to think that. I
but I
mean,
think
because
because what?
so much has to break your way.
Hey man, Auburn, Georgia this weekend, TCU, Oklahoma this weekend, Miami, Notre Dame this weekend, which we'll get to. That's
Mm.
6 teams right there. And
Notre
just
Dame would
just
have
this
to lose.
come just this coming weekend.
Notre Dame would have to lose twice. That's the thing.
Notre Dame could win out.
I mean, they could get in if Notre Dame wins out, but that just makes it hard because one of TCU or Oklahoma is going to get in.
But see, I know. See, the one that's going to have to
You're
happen is
running out of spots.
yeah, is TCU is going to need to beat Oklahoma, and then TCU is going to need to mess up something else along the way.
Yeah.
That's what's going to need, and Ohio State's going to need to keep losing.
The problem is though, is like even if they did beat Oklahoma, like they would still only have 2 losses.
But I think it's the college football playoff committee, so there's no real rhyme or reason to it.
There isn't.
And if I have a belief that just USC at 2 losses and TCU at 2 losses, USC will be ranked ahead of TCU by the college football playoff committee.
It's tough, man. But you got a 35-point loss on your resume.
To the maybe number 2 team in the nation when it's all said and done,
It's still 35 though.
and being Pac-12 champs.
Maybe. I mean, look, I'm not.
I'm just saying.
As long as Notre Dame's in it, like I don't,
Well,
I
SC
have
needs
no
Notre Dame
problem.
to keep winning
I
because if
have,
Notre Dame loses, then
I have no problem seeing USC again. I'll tell you that.
yeah, I bet no one has a problem seeing USC. Let's just say that right now. Look, I'm not saying they're going to win or they're a great team. I'm just saying when it's all said and done that if this is breaking good for a 2-loss USC team. So just circumstance. That's all. I still think Clay Helton's a garbage coach. They're the most penalized team
Stranger things, Michael.
in the nation. Like I got a whole laundry list of problems. Don't you worry. I'm just saying the way the schedules are breaking, the teams that are ahead of them, who USC is, who they've lost to, who they can still beat. I mean, they still have to play. If they go to the Pac-12 title game and Washington wins out, they'll jump them. If Washington State makes it somehow, then they'll avenge their loss. Like I'm just saying, it's going to break pretty good for USC if they win out, which is a shock because on Sunday I thought, oh, who cares? This is a lost cause, and I saw him shoot all the way up to 11 Tuesday night, and I kind of did my who's playing who, my schedule math and stuff. I was like, oh. There's a real in Colorado. USC plays Colorado this weekend. They're garbage.
No, not good.
UCLA's garbage. They can't even fire. They're so bad they can't even fire Jim Mora. That's how bad UCLA is.
So, I mean, don't they? I mean, I'll bet UCLA has like a. Don't they have? Wouldn't they have like a buyout problem? Like it's not like USC and Notre Dame. Like they can't just pay
That's what I'm saying. I think
They
it's a
can't pay
$12 million
someone not to
buyout.
coach. Does he really?
I think that's what I read over the
Oh,
weekend.
oh,
So they can't even
yeah.
fire
They're
him.
state school. Like they can't just. They're public. They can't just be paying that sort of.
I mean, this is
They
probably one of the
can't pay
highest
that.
paid people in the state of California, or by the state of
Absolutely.
California. By the state of California,
Yeah, no
a
question.
government employee.
Man, what a waste.
What a waste. So that's where I am with USC right now. If,
Okay.
if we,
I mean, look, that's good. You're married now. You're feeling optimistic about things. That's good.
once again, I still have the same problems with the Trojans. I don't want anyone to think that I'm doing a complete 180 here.
Okay.
I'm just saying that there's a chance people are going to be real excited in December. That's all I'm saying. I mean, they could go into Colorado and running past every other play and get no rhythm going, get no pass rush. Just a
Well,
bunch
that's
of
not going to
stupid.
happen. That's not going to
Yeah,
happen against Colorado.
I know.
It could happen against you at UCLA. It could.
Little rivalry action.
UCLA has a puncher's chance unless something happens to Rosen.
Rosen's like 1 foot out the door. He's like 2 feet
I
out the
know,
door.
but I'm just saying he has 1 foot out the door, but he'll be engaged for that one.
And Jim Moore's out the door, but unfortunately, he still has to coach the team.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about the number 3 team in the nation.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
So it was strange, Michael. It was a weird weekend on the Notre Dame Twitter. I don't know if you saw.
I did not. I was occupied.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So Notre Dame, I guess they started kind of slow. Like they were down 3-0.
I feel like they always they don't. I think they always start slow, but it's not starting slow.
It's not
like,
really like it. I mean, they gave up a field goal, and then they
grind.
immediately took the lead. It was like they did against NC State. Like they gave up the block punt for a touchdown, and then they came right back and scored. But this one was like they were up 17-3, then 24-10, then 31-10, then I think 34-10, and it was 34-16, then it was 41-16, then 41-23. Basically what happened was Notre Dame they gave up a bunch of touchdowns in the second half. They gave up 27 second half points. And that had a bunch of people fired up. Which, like there was a lot of like.
Who was playing when those 27 points were?
It was like
were being given up.
Starters.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the starting team. I mean, they were doing like weird stuff on defense. Like they were rushing, like they were in 3 down linemen, but then they would drop the nose guard as a spy.
That's Van Gorder Esch.
And rush 2. Yeah, that worked about as well as you would think it would. In that it didn't work at all. Like they gave up like 580 yards of offense. I mean, luckily for them, they acquired 710 yards of offense. So, but
they really just took their foot off the gas. Is what they just said, keep it in front of us.
Yeah, but like anytime you give up that many points, like people are gonna, they kind of freak out. And my website UHND, my boss, he kind of overreacted a little bit, and then people gave him a hard time. And it's like, look, I mean, I think people can be mad if Notre Dame gives up 27 second half points. Like no one, like let's just call it for what it is. Like it was a bad performance. It was. It doesn't mean they're a bad team. It doesn't mean that we think they stink, but
you're not going to waste the good plays on this crappy game. Like you're just going to go straight vanilla.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the media, and I'm not like blaming the media. I'm just saying like they've been asking Notre Dame about having a letdown game for like 3 weeks now. And if you ask players enough it just gets to the point where it's in your head. Like now, it's like, are you going to have a letdown? Are you afraid of the letdown? Is there going to be a letdown this week? How do you guys keep from having a letdown? It's like eventually it just gets you in your mind enough to where it's like, okay, well, maybe we should have a letdown. I mean, everyone keeps talking about it. So, I mean, if they were going to have it, the offense picked them up. They scored 48 points. They gave up 37, but I feel like if they really needed to hold Wake Forest down in the fourth quarter, they would have, just because that's what they've done all year. So
And if you score a lot of points, that means the other team has the ball a lot too. It's not like they gave up all those points and didn't score a lot of points. Like it's you can only stop the other team so many times.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you have a cushion, it's just kind of like, well, we don't have to stop them. Like the game's over.
It's just
Like
burn clock, burn clock.
yeah, like they sat Brandon Wimbush in the fourth quarter. Josh Adams barely played because apparently he had headaches coming into the game and he didn't feel good. He only had a few carries, and then they were just like, we're just not going to play you. It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, 710 yards of offense, it's hard to complain about that, no matter who's playing. So, I mean, the game's over with. I mean, no one got hurt. They came out of it fairly healthy. So, onward and upward.
It's probably good, to go into Miami with a couple things to fix, a couple things to work on. Helps keep you focused.
Yeah, and it's like, look, I mean, it's good to have a bad game every now and then.
Yeah.
You and then look, if your bad game is going to be an 11-point victory, I'm fine with that.
Where you're leading by more than that for most of the game.
Yeah, like okay, in 2012, right? That team, during the course of that undefeated season, they beat Purdue by 3 on a last-second field goal. Trashy Purdue. They beat trashy BYU by 3. They beat trashy Pitt in triple overtime on a straight-up miracle after this dude misses a field goal, like a 30-something yard field goal. There was one other close game. Either way, I mean, like, just basically the point is like, they beat Stanford in overtime. Like the point is like those are like serious nail biters. Like you're winning games by 3 points, and you're scoring like
you want to win a
17.
national title, you shouldn't go to triple overtime with Pitt.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to, eke it out against trashy BYU and trashy Purdue.
Purdue, who doesn't even have an X-ray machine in their stadium.
Yeah, like in this situation, like Notre Dame's up 48-23 going to the fourth quarter. Like it's probably fine. Like if that's going to be their nail biter, then I'll take it. So got the big one this weekend.
All right, well, what's coming? Since we're doing this late in the week, what's coming up this weekend?
We got Miami, number 7.
Number 7, undefeated.
Undefeated. The U. They're probably pretty salty about that too.
That they're only number 7.
Yep.
I saw that ESPN ran Catholics versus Convicts this week. Get people fired up.
Well, they're going. They're finally doing game day at this thing. I don't know why everyone cares. Like Notre Dame fans, like they all complain about it. Like, oh, they're not coming to South Bend for USC or NC State or whatever. Who cares?
It's fun. Game day is fun. I think you're the only one who doesn't think game day is fun.
It's not anything. First of all, I don't watch it. So
you've made that comment before. I don't know if it was on the podcast or in our pregame, but it's fun, man. I don't watch it either. I'll
in
flip
what
on
way is it
for
fun?
a second or two. You get the funny signs. You get Lee Corso putting a funny hat on. You get to like one little human interest story, and then a celebrity shows up. Maybe it's someone interesting. It's fun. Don't be against fun.
I don't think any of that is particularly fun.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
not a
Jim. Sorry,
funny.
Jim. Sorry, Jim Harbaugh. It's like,
Look
whoa.
at Jim. I mean, look at it's not like okay. I'll put it like this. It's not. It's not like a negative. I just don't see it as like a thing. Like I don't care. Whatever. You don't want to come, then don't come. Whatever. Go somewhere. It doesn't matter to me. It's not a negative. It's not a positive. It's just a thing that happens sometimes. I mean,
Nice.
maybe I need to attend a game
Oh,
that is a game day, and then I need to go see Desmond Howard.
I went once. I think it was UCLA, Oregon. This had to be a million years ago
Yeah, really. Jeez,
for those two teams to be good.
it's funny. Wow. So,
No, it's fun, man. The mascots are there.
mm-hmm,
Cheerleaders are in the background doing the throws and catching themselves.
mm-hmm.
Washington State flag flying proudly in the background.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Notre Dame wins.
You think so?
Oh yeah, full faith in the Irish.
I would be so sad if they lost. They should win.
Because
I
is
keep
Miami's
thinking
defense
about
that good?
that. No. I mean, they're not Georgia good.
Yeah,
They're like, I think they're similar to like NC State, honestly.
but probably worse because NC State has
No,
that one guy,
well,
that Chubb guy.
like the front seven. I mean, I think Miami's corners are probably a little bit better.
But that doesn't matter because Notre Dame can't throw.
I think
So
they're quite a bit better. Actually, here's the thing. Actually, just finished an article about Chase Claypool and Kevin Stepherson. If I was good with video, which I'm not, so I'm not going to do this. But if I was good with video, I could put together like a montage of all of the missed like bomb touchdowns that Notre Dame's had this year. And I don't mean like like it was broken up or some. I'm talking about like guys are running free.
I
Like
mean, there were a
completely
couple
open.
against USC. I can think of right off the top of my head.
Couple against USC. You have one in the opener. I mean, it's literally every week. Like someone's running by themselves and the ball's overthrown, or it's like thrown out of bounds, and it's like it's just happening every week. And it's like at some point, and this week against Wake Forest, they had a couple that Wimbush actually put on the guy, and Claypool flat drops it, and EQ flat drops it.
That's good. That means you're saving them. You still got
It
them
just
in the
like
barrel.
it's there, And I feel like man, if they can just hit on those, this team is. I don't know how you deal with them. I don't
I mean,
because
that's like any fan's dream. A running game that gets like 10 yards to carry, and then a quarterback who just throws deep and connects.
exactly like this is honestly, you just hit the nail on the head. Like this is everything that I've ever dreamed about as a football fan. Like they run the ball, they're explosive, and then when they don't do that, they just go play action and just take shots. What is that noise?
I don't hear it.
There we go. You're gonna have to edit that.
I didn't hear anything.
No, you're gonna have to edit me going, what is that noise? 'Cause
Okay. Sometimes I keep it because I think it's funny, but okay.
fine.
I wrote down the time. No, we've gone too long. Keep going.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they just take shots deep, and it's just my favorite thing. Like my favorite play in all of sports is play action, just take shots.
That's the best.
And that's what Notre Dame has. Like I was thinking about it. So, because I wrote in the article because I remember Colin Cowherd after,
Notorious USC fan, Colin Cowherd. Please get it
yeah,
right.
yeah, in his infinite wisdom on his show post USC is like Notre Dame's topped out, and they've topped out because, they're one dimensional. Which I mean, one-dimensional teams have won national championships in college football before. So let's just
I, I'm going to defend the Irish. They're two-dimensional because their defense is pretty good.
Well, I think he meant on offense.
Still, I think you have to mention it. You can't just, well, all we do
Yeah,
is
I
run the
mean,
ball.
it's like I think it's a false premise just based on the fact that you can be one
Right.
dimensional.
Okay.
But like Notre Dame has a thing now that they didn't have before, and that's like when you have Stefferson and you have Claypool and you have St. Brown, like you can make a case that none of those guys are number one receivers, but like when you have to cover one of them with your second or third corner, like that's a mismatch now because it's like you now those two like whoever isn't being covered by your best guy, like that's they can take that guy. And we saw it against USC when Iman Marshall went out
Mm-hmm.
and they bring on their backup corner and they go right after him with St. Brown and he's got a touchdown and Wimbush overthrows him. And then 2 plays later they come back with Stefferson and he beats him. And they just made him look bad. And it's like you can't throw just some third corner at these guys. And when you put them all out there at the same time and you have to deal with Wimbush and you have to deal with Adams, you're worried about them running. It's not like you can send help to any of these guys. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna cheat your safety over to take away that? Like, they're not going to,
Because then they run, and then
because then they run, and it's like, look,
you got to play
what?
it straight up, which is rough.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you have Stefferson and you have Claypool in favorable matchups against linebackers or safeties, and like that's an area that they can exploit that they couldn't exploit against Georgia. So I just think like this team, like this is such a good team. Like they're so good. Like they shouldn't lose. And the only thing that like the thing that trips them up is just like poor play. Because it's like, one of my things is like you're only as good as you play. You can be good, but if you play bad, then you know what I'm saying? So it's like if they come out and they just play like a poor game, they're sloppy, Wimbush isn't hitting his passes, then it's like, yeah, then all of a sudden you're not a good team anymore.
Yeah,
You
but I
know?
mean that's not fair because you could say that about any team.
You could. Exactly. You
That's not
could.
like an inherent Notre Dame trait. That's just like a
No, it isn't. It isn't. You're right.
college football thing that happens, like Ohio State
Yeah,
getting
sometimes
smashed by Iowa.
they did. They got crushed. And but that's what I'm afraid of. Like I'm just afraid, like, are they gonna come out and lay an egg?
Well, I believe.
I do too. They should do it. They should win. But and it's so weird to feel this way when it's like number 3 versus number 7 and Notre Dame's on the road against an undefeated team. It's so weird to feel like that. But they should do it. They
What do
should.
our friends in Las Vegas say?
Our friends in Las Vegas, well, I don't know what it is now, but it opened at Notre Dame -4.
It's pretty positive.
So you're looking at like, you know, you're looking at like -7 on a neutral field, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's how it works. It's Notre Dame -3.5 right now.
So it's gone down a half point. Well, what are you looking at?
Just ESPN.
Oh, just ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out Bovada. Yeah, -3.5. It doesn't say what it opened at though.
For the 5 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah, they're -160.
I mean,
So if anything, it's gone down a half point.
you would like to be a little bigger favorite, but on the
I
road,
mean,
what can you do
yeah, like they're favored on the road. You know, I
against an
mean,
undefeated team?
Like if they were at home, it would be what?
Six and a
Six,
half.
7, 6.5, 7.
Let's see.
I mean, that's what they were against USC. Is that right?
I believe so. Let's
Did
see.
I make that up?
According to my research here, the line opened at 3.5.
Oh, okay.
The over under is 56 and a half.
Wow. 56 and a half.
That seems a little high. I don't know, man. Notre Dame can get to 40 themselves.
Notre Dame can, yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I expect Notre Dame to be in the mid 30s, honestly.
So does Vegas, apparently.
Yeah. So it's like 35-20. That sounds about right. And that's
What's that
55.
on ABC?
Vegas is good.
And
Yeah.
this is ABC's marquee game of the night.
Ugh, I would be so sad. This team is so good. They're so good. They deserve.
There's a real moment
You
for
know
the
what
Fighting
makes me
Irish.
nervous though? You know what makes me nervous? I've seen Miami play a
Hmm.
few times. I've never really been impressed with them, but they do a
Yeah, I saw him play
thing.
once, and I thought I couldn't believe they were ranked that high.
Yeah, they do a thing where they have these big receivers, and these athletic guys, and I've been talking about how Notre Dame's corners just kind of give up stuff, like these jump balls, and I'm just afraid of like Miami just trying one early and being successful and just being like, you know what, we're just gonna do this all the time.
Just keep
Yeah,
jump
like
balls against
every
Notre
drive,
Dame corners.
like every drive, we're just gonna take a shot and we're gonna get like 30 to 40 yard chunks on this thing.
But I feel like that's what bad teams do. And sometimes you get lucky where it's like a slot machine. Like bad teams do that. Like they just target their one good receiver, and if he's hot, it's going to be close. And if he's not, you get destroyed.
No, like it could like they could try. Like I kind of agree. Like that is what bad teams do, but at the same time, like what if it works?
Yeah,
Because
no,
it's
that's true.
been
You gotta. I
working.
mean,
Like
then you're in trouble.
it's
Then it's
been
close. It's
working.
close. If it works, it's close.
Yeah, and like if it doesn't work, then that's great. But if they're doing it and it works out, like it just kind of it's like that's how you get beat is that they get these big chunk yards, and it's like they're getting points, and you know eh, you got a running quarterback, like they're probably going to run him a lot more than they have been because they don't need to. You don't worry about keeping a guy healthy in a game like this.
No,
So
but that's good for Notre Dame too, right?
it
On
is.
their offensive end, because then
Yeah,
they get to
it is.
unleash Wimbush a little more.
Right. So I mean, look at I'm like I feel good about this game, and that scares me because like normally when I get my hopes up, that just sets me up to be crushed later, and I'll be sad, crying in the corner.
Well, for my USC dream scenario, I need Miami to lose. So
Okay.
because I
Okay.
think SC can jump Miami.
They can't. Yeah, they can.
A one loss Miami is not as good as a two loss USC
Well, I mean,
in the pollsters' eye or
here's
the
here's the problem though is like if Miami only has one loss at the end, then that means they beat Clemson and they're the ACC champs,
that might be a problem. That's true.
and that is not good for USC
No,
people. So
but Miami missed the game. Just throwing that out there.
Arkansas State.
Well, hey, you never Stranger Things. Cam Newton's brother won a game where they were 26-point underdogs or something.
It's true.
And we play to win the games, Greg. We play to win the games.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know if Clay Helton does that, but
Man, so nervous.
it'll be fine.
Just win the game.
Now, you got any other fun Notre Dame news and notes.
Fun Notre Dame news and notes. No, it's been a weird week. I've been busy at work.
I agree.
You were gone. I feel disjointed when you're gone, and I can't text you about things.
Yes. I was a little, a little off my game as well.
Everything feels strange. Like we're not doing the pick'em
So
pool because you're busy.
I know. I felt really bad about that.
It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Like all that matters at the end is the overall winning percentage. So
Yes,
the number of as long as the number of games are equal.
agreed. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Have any fun USC stuff? They already covered all the statues on campus for Rivalry Week.
Oh,
A
good.
week in advance. I do like the duct taped up Tommy Trojan. I think that's a great look.
Wait. I had like 2 weeks
2 weeks
ahead.
ahead, yeah. They got ahead of the curve here.
Oh my goodness.
They don't need a criminal like Angelo Ball going around campus trying to paint Tommy Trojan the wrong colors.
That's too soon, Michael. He might actually go to prison.
That is true. But at least it's not slander because he really is a criminal.
It really is. Well, no, that's technically. I mean, I don't know. Are you innocent until proven guilty in China?
Do they have rules in China? I don't.
I don't know.
I think it's just what they say. What they say
Lesson
goes.
lesson to all the kids out there. Don't go to foreign countries and break the law.
Yeah,
It's not like here.
that's actually a very good policy point.
It's
It
it's
is.
not like here. We're it's a little different in America than it is in other countries.
Don't break the law in other countries. If you're an
No.
adult, don't break the law in other countries.
I mean, try not to break the law anywhere, but especially
You,
not somewhere where you're not totally hip to what their judicial system is like.
you want the home court advantage.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man.
Say what you will about America, but we do have the Constitution
We do have the Constitution
for
for
now.
now. For now.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Hey, the I think the USC game's on at 1 this weekend, so that means we can watch both games.
This is
We don't.
Pac-12 network.
Fox.
Fox. Well, I have a
Hey,
sad story to tell. Is that I'll be catching the Notre Dame on delay because
oh,
we're flying back from Denver.
oh, that's right. You're visiting
Yeah,
friend of the pod, Tim Norcas.
yeah, I'm visiting him. I shouldn't. I should cancel it.
Well, you guys could. I don't know what you could do. And flying's the worst. Let me tell you,
It is.
it's super convenient, but it's amazing that we can get across the country in a couple hours. But it's just the worst.
Yeah, like it's not the worst in that it lets us go thousands of miles in like a few hours, like you say, but it is the worst in that it's the worst.
I just want a public service announcement since I have a public forum that I'm going to use right now. When
Do
you're
it.
sitting in your seat on the plane and you're landed and you're hooked up to the arm, you're docked or whatever it's called. Just wait till it's your row's turn to stand up. Like, just wait. Y'all don't. Everyone doesn't need to huddle in the aisle and try to get their bags as soon as possible. Like, it's not a race. We all want to get off the plane. Just wait your turn. There's rows and there's seats, and we can
It
do
is
it
a
in an
race.
organized fashion. I flew home from Las
It is a
Vegas
race.
last night, and
Mhm.
the flight is, honest to God, about 35 minutes. 45, 35 minutes, one of those numbers.
Uh-huh.
One lady
Yeah.
shot up so fast. This is true. She shot up so fast, she hit her head on like the thing with the lights in the air.
Oh man.
It's like, yo, you were sitting for 35 minutes. Like, everyone does that. Anyone can sit for 35 minutes. Like, I'll cut you a little slack. You're going across the country, you're going over an ocean or something. Like, yeah, maybe move around a little bit. But you got to shake it out. I don't know what you're going through.
And not just that, but the plane is landed and it's
Yeah,
safely taxiing.
like, we're
Not
good.
taxiing anymore. Like you're fine.
You're going to get off. Yeah, just go in an orderly fashion. You don't need to stand. You don't need to stand until it's your rose turn. I'm sorry. That's it. That's my rant. That's my traveling rant. I don't need you hovering over me while I'm sitting calmly in my seat trying to finish my movie before go in-flight entertainment cuts out.
I'm going to be in a bad way because like the game is going to be on, taking place, but I'm going to try to avoid it.
So that means you can't watch any football.
Well, I don't even know like what airline we're taking. I mean, I guess
Are you traveling with your children?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. Um, if if the game is on, like if they have ABC on the flight, I'll probably watch it. I don't
I
want
mean,
to.
why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, but I don't like watching in segments. I've had this conversation before. Like I want to watch the whole thing because then I have to turn it off and then I have to, go get on the shuttle, go get the car, drive home. We're gonna be home in time. Probably we'll put the kids to bed, and then take a shower, and then watch it again. Like that's gonna be like an hour and a half of, you know,
Right. You're not getting back to the game for a while.
yeah. And it's like I have to worry about what was going on in the second quarter. Meanwhile, it's the fourth quarter. Ugh. And that leads to me staring at my phone, and that leads to me getting yelled at.
Correct.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad everyone sat through wedding talk and traveling talk here on the old man titled Notre Dame USC football podcast.
Hold on, we're having a guest appearance by my daughter.
See, now we got kid talk too.
Yeah. Hi, Elaine. Why aren't you in bed, babe? Okay. Well, I'm gonna end this podcast now. Okay, babe. Okay. Let's end it, Michael.
Yeah, of course. All right.
No, that's yeah.
I got this. So, on that note, let us find Greg on Twitter, Greg2126. I haven't checked his ads in a while.
You'll sit in my lap.
Go to uhnd.com to see all his articles.
uhnd.com. I got one coming out tomorrow.
Okay. I feel like they stole him from us. I was going to say we stole him from them one day, but I realized I think they stole him from us.
Yeah, that happened.
Follow me on Twitter. Every now and then I got gold. Follow us, iTunes. Leave a comment. We haven't seen a good comment in a while. Leave a comment, subscribe, and other than that, fight on.
Go Irish. Elaine, say go Irish. You don't want to? No. All right. Go Irish.